Thanks for joining me for another adventure in the Blue Ridge Mountains. We're in the Big Ivy Recreation and Wilderness area again today. It just reopened after a year. We came out here a few weeks ago to take a look at things, and boy, it is a mess out here. Today we're gonna go a little bit further up the trail. There's a cool rock and little creek that was actually used in the filming of the Hunger Games. We're gonna go try to find this place, see if we can find a cool spot, sit down, relax, have a meditation session out here in the woods. Thanks for being here. Man, this is crazy. We're pushing up into the creek a little further. Just kind of came across this debris pile here. Holy cow. Look at that. This is gnarly. I'm not actually sure how we're gonna get around this. Probably gonna have to cross over to the other side of the creek. It does look like there's a pretty cool waterfall. But so we just came from down there. I mean, look at this place. It has just been totally torn out by all the water that came through. I intended to make it a couple miles up this creek bed today, but it doesn't look like we're gonna make it to the site we were trying to get to. We'll have to come back and do that at another day. This has been really hard navigating up this creek. It's a big mess, as you can see from the video. There's a lot of debris and down trees and all sorts of stuff. So we're gonna go around this bend a little bit, and then we're gonna backtrack to where we saw that waterfall a little bit earlier. That's where we're gonna sit down and do our meditation and mindfulness session for today. Here we go. It still amazes me every time I come out here and I look at this damage from the hurricane. This entire riverbank was just torn out and deposited down there. That is a giant tree. I mean, how in the hell did that tree get up there? You know, the water must have been so high that it just crested and deposited those gigantic trees up on top of that hill. That is just amazing to me. This is the tree I was talking about. It looks like it could fall, honestly, at any moment. So we're gonna try to figure out a way to get through here kind of nice and sneakily like a little ninja, because I don't want to mess with anything in this area. Gee whiz. This small area in the creek tells the story of Hurricane Helene almost perfectly. The creek bed is down there. We're about 6 or 8 feet above it. The water was so high and came tearing down the mountain so fast that when it hit the curve in this river, this creek, it deposited all of these gigantic trees up on top of this 10 to 15 foot mountain. That tree over there is probably 15 feet above the creek bed. This side is also torn out almost completely as well. This poor tree is holding on by a thread. Well, this is where we're gonna turn around and head back to that waterfall for our meditation session. I made it through that area that looked really unstable. Looked like that giant tree is about to fall over at any second. But this is a good vantage point of all the debris and everything that's up here. I didn't really need to go across that tree, but my day is not complete until I get to traverse a downed tree. That was pretty awesome. Made it to our spot in the creek where we're gonna do our meditation for today. What a great area. Got a beautiful waterfall, perfect spot to sit right next to it. We're gonna do a 10-minute meditation session today. If you don't wanna meditate, no big deal. Hopefully you can sit with me, enjoy the sights and sounds of the creek and nature. Thanks for being here. Thanks for joining me for another mindful adventure in the Blue Ridge Mountains. Hopefully everybody enjoyed being out in the woods, a little meditation session as well. Everybody out there knows how YouTube works. Subscribe for weekly adventures. Smash the like button for me. I'd love to hear people's comments below. Get out there and explore. Enjoy the day.